Welcome to the FRESHMOUTH Club. I used to use every non-fluoride toothpaste on the market. I used baking soda, hydrogen peroxide, and I would rinse daily with colloidal silver, but never has my mouth been so clean as when I joined the FRESHMOUTH Club. Now, I came across this place because of going to the Super Soldier Convention that James RINK put on last year. And I met the owner, Larry, and he talked about these products. And here's some of what he said. We make the best and healthiest toothpaste you can buy. And what makes it that way? Nano silver, which is a lot better than colloidal silver. And colloidal silver is very good on its own, but this stuff's got colloidal silver beat. It's all natural, no fluoride, gluten-free, vegan, and paraben-free. And it tastes great and it foams up nicely, and I can speak to that. I love brushing my teeth with this product. Our specialized nano silver technology eliminates bad bacteria without ingesting any type of harmful chemicals. This antibacterial, antimicrobial agent has also been found to aid in the repair of tooth decay, receding gums, teeth sensitivity, and bad breath while fighting against viral pathogens. With our amazing nano silver formula, you can take brushing to a whole other level, making sure your mouth stays always fresh, always clean. Not only that, if you join the FRESHMOUTH Club, they have MAHA products. It's the ultimate brushing system. Your mouth and teeth will thank you, and possibly your friends and family as well. This is so true. My mouth has never felt this fresh. I asked them if I could be an affiliate because I can just only say good things about this product. It is a club, but you are in complete control with how much you get. You can even end it at any time you want it. At FRESHMOUTH Club, we take brushing seriously, and you should too. You only get one set of teeth. Many diseases start in the mouth, so a clean and fresh mouth will lead to a healthy and happy life. Check it out. The link is in the description. It's the FRESHMOUTH Club, and it's 100% snarky endorsed. Well, hello everyone. It's me again, Snarky McAllister. I am here with my good friend, Anna Marie Morales, and she's just one of the most beautiful people I know. I instantly had this connection with her, and it's just been great ever since. And I did well, why don't you tell them what you do, Anna Marie, and thank you as Anne Marie. I called you Anna Marie.
It's all good.
I
It's
should
all
know better
good.
because whenever I see your name, I always think of the Dick Van Dyke Show because starring Anne Marie.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
anyway, Anne Marie, and maybe you should tell them a little bit about what you do and who you are, and then we can tell them about my session that I had with you.
Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for having me on. My name is Anne Marie Morales, and I am a certified transpersonal hypnotherapist. I consider myself a starseed, and I'm also an energy worker, intuitive energy, psychic person. And that's what I'm doing right now. But you in particular had a hypnotic modality that was actually downloaded to me by my guides, by my Pleiadian guides, and it was called a Starseed Special. So that is the modality that you had,
Oh.
and I felt it was appropriate for you to receive that. Yeah, or you wanted that. Sure.
Yes, I wanted to know. It's kind of funny because I wanted to know exactly who am I? What am I? Everybody seems to know it. You know what I mean? Like people go, oh, I'm Palladian or I'm Octurian. I figured that out. And I'm like, I can't figure out who I am or what I am.
Mhm.
And that is kind of part of the session that we had because it all kind of came together in a very interesting way. But anyway, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's pretty much what it is. Being a certified hypnotherapist. So what I do is I assist people to really heal their minds. Okay. And we are filled with hidden beliefs, hidden traumas that affect us on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
They will prevent us from, let's say, speaking up when we know we should speak up, or they will prevent us from doing what our hearts really desire because there's an underlying current of either fear or doubt or self-loathing or confusion. And we know about that. We know because we say all the time in conversation, well, there's a part of me that wants to do this, and there's a part of me that wants to do that. Well, those parts are your mind. Okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes those parts, they get out of sync with each other. So what I do is I assist people to go into the subconscious mind. And in your case, so there's three levels to the mind. There is the conscious mind, which is us talking right here and now, that we're awake and we're, doing our lives. That's in our conscious realm. There is the subconscious realm, which is our ego or our earthly self,
Yeah.
the supercomputer that registers everything that we experience, even before we are born. I have clients that go into the womb. I have clients that go
Wow.
before they incarnate, and they're in front of some council saying, no, you need to go to Earth. So
Wow.
it's fascinating. And then there is the superconscious mind, and that superconscious mind is the mind that unifies us with all knowledge. Okay. And that's where you went. You went to the part of your superconscious mind where all knowledge exists, and you were able to answer the questions that you had prepared for our session. So,
Do you think that is the field?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the way I felt about it too,
Yeah.
that I was in the field of source,
Right.
but everybody else too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
And
all
so
this
we,
information is floating around in there.
absolutely, that's what it is. We are all unified in one way or another. We are unified through our frequency, our vibrational frequency, and the fact that we are incarnate, the fact that we are alive on this earth plane at this moment automatically connects us. So, yeah, that's who we are really as humans.
Yeah.
We're more than what we think we are.
I just had Raw Cloud on,
Yeah.
and the name of his channel is The Law of One.
Yep.
And so that's what you're talking about, right?
Absolutely. I consider myself well, I know my guides are the Raw Collective. I
Yeah.
am a channeler as well. And the Law of One, I am currently studying it as well. So yes, I believe that we are all one expressions of the source, the one infinite creator.
Yeah.
And
And
so we're, yeah.
do you think that the creator actually experiences life as we know it through
Hmm.
us?
Hmm. Yep.
But we have to maintain that contact.
We're always connected, but whether or not we realize it is another story.
Well, I guess what I meant to say was interaction.
Yeah.
That gives source more information if we can connect to source, ask questions,
Hmm.
state feelings, or I don't even think we have to ask, we just have to be.
Hmm.
And if we're in that state of mind, that's what's going to get picked up on, not our words, but our intentions or states of mind, that's what we're communicating. So if we're angry and we say we're in a good mood, we're just going to come across as angry because that is our state of mind. And the
Correct.
fact that we're saying we're in a good mood is not really,
Mm-hmm.
that's not our state of mind. It has to be real feelings. So you
Mm-hmm.
can't really fake that.
No, it's always going to be present. And being in a state of communication with source is definitely, we're the ones that benefit from that
Yeah.
because we're the ones that are finally able to connect with higher wisdom that gives us the tools to navigate this very dense planet, this very difficult planet. So,
Don't you
yeah,
think too, you have to open your mind to the response that you get?
absolutely.
Because it might not be what you expect. You might
Mm-mm.
expect a voice in your head, or you might expect an apparition, or you might
Right,
expect suddenly everything's going to go your way.
right.
But it comes softly. And there's a lot of channels that have the word whisper,
Mm-hmm.
a galactic whisper, or, uh, terrestrial whispers,
Mm-hmm.
because they're not harsh. They, it's, but like the way that my thing came through,
Mm-hmm.
it was like a whisper, but it was the answer to all of my questions,
Right.
and I recognized that, but a lot of people don't recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
When they get the information they need, they don't recognize it as such. Like videos came to me.
Right.
They just showed up on my feed, like
Mm-hmm.
and they were coming in volumes,
Right.
So somebody might not recognize that as an
Mm-hmm.
answer.
Mm-hmm. It's all about awareness. It's all about being aware and looking for all the signs and being open to seeing what's truly in front because I believe spirit arranged things for us all the time. And they do start out with a whisper. Even in the Bible, it says God didn't come as the roaring wind. It came as God came as a gentle whisper.
Yeah.
So first they start out with the subtle things. And then if we're not paying attention, then like the more then the harder, knocks on the head kind of happen to us. So, you're in a place where you heard the whisper, and that's amazing.
Did
That's
it,
really
it was
amazing.
very interesting and overwhelming in a lot of ways because I recognized it. Uh,
Mm-hmm,
and I think the dream I had prepped me
mm-hmm,
for all the videos that came my way because it
mm-hmm.
also was an answer. So we should talk about this because
Yeah.
um, uh, just let me say a few things for a second. This was 3 hours of intense. Anne-Marie took me on a journey into myself, basically, into the uh, things that had been forgotten or to a place where I could get to these. I just saw your cat walk by.
Oh, okay.
He's lurking back there. Anyway, um, so it, I got a video of the session. So I was able to watch the video again and kind of go through it again. And should I just go ahead and tell what happened?
Please do. Yeah.
Okay.
Describe your experience and I just wanted to say also that one of the things that block people from experiencing what you did was their own expectation as to how it was supposed to be. So I
Yeah.
always tell my clients, do not imagine that you're going to experience something like this, like everything is going to be in Technicolor, or, oh, I didn't feel like I was in hypnosis. Just trust the process. And you
Yeah.
did, and you had a beautiful experience. So go ahead and now share, please.
Well, the first thing I did was re-listen to the watch the whole thing. I mean, I was more laying down, listening to it, almost experiencing it a second
Yeah.
time.
Hmm.
And so I did that. And it was really interesting to go through it because I was in a kind of a trance-like state, at a certain point. And so I didn't actually go into the trance state. I was more paying attention to what was happening, but I was listening to it and taking it in and laying down and sort of half meditating when I did that. And that night I had a dream. Now I should tell, well, why don't you tell what you did or where you took me or how you took me there and where we ended up?
Okay.
Do you
Uh,
remember?
Um, you'll have to fill in the blanks, but
Okay.
all I can do is tell you that the technique that I use is a relaxation technique to place you into a hypnotic state, a trance-like state. So while you were going through it the original time, the first time, yes, you were being guided by my hypnotic techniques, and you were placed into a state where you accessed this superconscious realm, this part of your existence, this part of your soul. And you had prepared some questions that you wanted answers to, which I was there to advocate for you. And we went through different doors or portals depending on what you and your higher self, your superconscious self, decided was in your best and highest good. I am merely a facilitator. I'm not a magician. You are the one that does, through your intention, creates this healing experience for you.
Well, I thought it was real interesting the way you did it
Mhm.
because when I was little, I used to have a lot of children's books with fantastical stories in them and everything. And it reminded me so much of this story called East of the Sun, West of the Moon. And it is about a boy that goes on a big adventure. It's like Gulliver's Travels, almost like he went. And so she took me. We went downstairs first,
Right.
uh, and there were a long flight of stairs we went down. And I think, wasn't I in the woods or something? And I came
Hmm.
across the staircase and went down. And I
Hmm.
was still in the woods, but I was going down, 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 really, really deep. And then when I came out, I went through a long walk through the woods. And
Hmm.
in my vision, there was a creek right next to me as I was traveling down this path right next to the creek.
Oh.
And we kept going through the woods for a long time.
Hmm.
And then we came out at a clearing, and there was a structure there in the clearing that I was to enter.
Hmm.
And there would be a galactic group in there that I could then find out which group I belonged to. But when I got up to the structure, um, there was a door there, but there was something else. I couldn't quite figure out what it was because as I got close to the structure, I couldn't figure out where the structure was because there was a moment there. When you're driving a car and you turn and your lights just catch something, but it just passes over, or you're shining a flashlight and you're just shining it across and you just get a glimpse of it, you don't see the whole thing. So I had seen a wall that had some glyphs on it, but it was separate from the building because the building was gray and it was a huge pyramid, a needlepoint pyramid. It wasn't like a wide pyramid, it was a needlepoint pyramid. It went way up, like almost you couldn't see the top of it barely. And um when I but then there was this thing, and I couldn't figure out whether it was a wall. I think I said it was a wall. But then later on, I was like, no, because this building is gray. And that was gold. It was like a not shiny gold. It was more like a brass type gold, weathered down, like not shiny. It looked like it had been through some time and stuff like that. And it had a rougher texture to it, but yet the glyphs and everything, it was there. So I thought maybe it was a door. I couldn't quite figure out what it was. But as we went on the journey, I went in there and there was nobody in there. I was the only one in the building. There was a door there that looked like an elevator or something like that, but nothing else. No doors, no nothing, nobody in there. So there's nobody I could ask. But then I started trying to figure out what that thing was that I saw, and it came to me that it was a craft and that it was hovering there. And then you asked me to define it, but I was having a hard time with the shape of it. I said it was almost like a spinning, like a top or maybe an incense burner or something like that that had East Indian kind of shape to it. But I was struggling with it. I couldn't quite visualize it. I could only get a vague idea of the craft. I only know what I saw as far as the wall went. And the wall was it was divided. Like the bottom part of it had the glyphs on it, and the top part of it was just like smooth brass, but it was weathered. So, and it was just that one little snippet of it. I couldn't tell whether it was a wall or whatever it was, but I ended up realizing it was a ship. And then you were asking me about it, and I was having trouble and everything. So then, because I was having trouble with the actual shape of the ship, you said go through that door and see if there's anybody in that other part. Well, the door opened for me, and it was all nice and cozy in there. It wasn't like an elevator. It was more like I Dream of Jeannie, like inside the bottle. It was it had like plush place for me to lay down in. Like I didn't stand in it. I settled in it. It was cozy. And the thing it was like an elevator. It went up, 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 way up this whole very tall structure. And it spit me out at the top. And I was in the where the stars were. I was in this field, and it felt so good when I was in this field. The stars were everywhere. I was suspended. I didn't have to worry about falling or anything like that. I was totally cozy, like I was in that vault thing. It kind of prepped me for being shot out there, but I was still felt supported, like I wasn't, and it was so beautiful. I just felt so good. I didn't ever want to leave it. And you asked me what it felt like, and I said it felt like a womb, like I was in a womb. And so we went through I kind of forgot what other things we went through. And then we ended the session because I couldn't remember any more than that. So I wanted to know what species I was. And so when I got home, I did it again. I didn't do the whole thing, but I listened to it and kind of meditated through the journey again and everything. And that night I had a dream, and that craft was in the dream. And it was as clear as day. It was shaped like a candy kiss. That's what it was shaped like. It had a point on the top, and then it just came down in this kind of clump. It was very simple, nothing, no weapons, no portals, no anything. But the glyphs were there, just on the bottom. The top was smooth. And it was hovering in my dream, the entire craft. I saw it. And I remember because I've been waking up in my dreams a lot lately. And I remember waking up in the dream, or at least having the thought, that's that craft.
Yeah.
Like I recognized it immediately. I went, there it is. But I was doing other things in the dream, but it was just hovering there the whole time. And I kept looking at it going, that's it. And so that next day, and I had seen this before, but I hadn't really paid that much attention to it. But it was about the letter M, which
Right.
you could, my hurt hand, I'll have to show where it is, but it goes, I have it. It goes up here, down, and down there. And when I put even with my squished hand, when I put the two of them together, I get a crescent moon. And the M is here, but that machine, I got my hand caught in a machine and it got crushed. The machine took all the skin off the top of my hand. So the doctors had pulled the skin. So the M is like, it's like wide, but it's there. And so I was kind of fascinated with that.
Mhm.
All these, if I would look at one, there'd be 10 more. Like the whole screen was full of them at one point. There was hardly any other thing. Just all these, if you have these marks on your hand. The other thing is where the M comes, there's a cross in the center, and I have that one too. So I was reading about this, like, what does it mean, And I came across a video with Dolores Cannon.
Mhm.
And the title of the video was, If You Have These Marks on Your Hand, You're Not Human. And I'm like, okay, all right. And then another video with Dolores Cannon, because I kind of started listening to her because she talks a lot about these marks and other marks that people have.
Mhm.
Basically, it tells you who you are and why you're here, what your
Right.
duty is, depending on the marks. People are here for different missions and
Mhm.
reasons. So, and it said that she said that if you have these marks, you're part, the combination that you're part of a hidden race.
Right.
So that answers the question because I do remember this one thing when I was floating, I
Mhm.
kept getting the message, it's not time yet. It's
Right.
not time yet. Like the answer to my question, it's not time yet. And then I saw that and it said you're a hidden race. So that kind of answered all my questions about the craft and then the hidden race.
Mhm.
Now, I think a lot of us starseeds are hidden anyway.
Mhm.
And they do that by surrounding you in your life with negative experiences and
Mhm.
family members and stuff,
Mhm.
where your vibrations are kept down to
Absolutely.
hide
Mhm.
you who you are.
Right.
But I notice as I get older, people react to me negatively, some
Mhm.
people. And I can't figure out why. Like, why? What have I ever done? I just said hi,
Mhm.
and people react, some people who I think are probably negative in nature or
Mhm.
have something that they're hiding or something. I don't know. But some people are repelled by my energy.
Mhm.
And, it it became obvious that it was my energy doing it because I'm being nice. I'm being nice to a lot of people that I don't particularly care for, my own self. And then they, like snap at me or something, or
Mhm.
just get rude with me. I was talking to Raw Cloud about that too. He says it's your energy
Mhm.
that they hate.
Mhm.
But that answered all my questions. The answers didn't come during the reading. The answers came after I listened to I don't know whether I would have had those dreams anyway, but it was on my mind when I went to sleep.
Well, sure. I mean,
Yeah.
everything happens for a reason. You began, you began your journey by inquiring, by desiring more knowledge. So there was the question within you. You're like, what is the answer? I need the answer. And we are friends, and so I offered this modality to you, and you're like, yes, this is what I want to do. So you generated a series of events that ultimately brought you to your next level up, to your answers, to your peace, to your joy.
Yeah, unconsciously I did that.
Of course, yes,
Yeah.
because you're the one that's always in charge. You're the one that is generating your experiences. And so now you can come into like a deeper understanding of who you are, answering questions that bring your body into a sense of peace. And so once your entire body, your nervous system, everything aligns for your best and highest good, that's when your frequency elevates. And that's when you begin to say and take steps to experience life on your terms, to experience life in a higher frequency and have higher frequency experiences. But we're in a realm that teaches through contrast.
Yeah.
Okay. We're in this dualistic earth in
Right.
plus, up, down, on, off, left, right, yes, no. Okay. So that's duality. And that's where we are.
Yeah.
And so through the healing of your own mind, you begin to pull out of the duality and you begin to see things from a more spiritual perspective. You begin to see things from a level of, oh, okay, they might be having a bad day, but that's not on me. Right? I mean, you're
Yeah.
saying, hey, I'm just being okay. They may have a bad day, but it's really not on me. Maybe I was a part of their plan and I triggered something in them to facilitate their awakening. So that's something that I have found that's been happening in my life, is that I've been triggering other people, but it's
Yeah.
okay because I know who I am,
Yeah.
right?
A lot of people don't like that.
Well, of course not. It's not fun.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not enjoyable,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. And
Yeah.
so the less that I offer my judgment, the less that I place my blame, the less that I start to see people as enemies
Yeah.
instead of reflections, I can just turn within myself and say, okay, why am I experiencing this? Do I hold this within me? And if I do, then I can heal it. And then I can say, oh, wow, maybe I am seeing people as enemies and I need to stop seeing people as enemies and just allow them to go their merry way and be whoever they want to be and get angry at whoever they want to get angry at and play your own game right now, because
Um,
we're in that phase where things are being constructed to pull us deeper into separation.
yeah.
And in the law of one, there is no separation. We are all one. And so even the character in our play that makes us out to be the evil one is actually doing us a favor.
Yeah.
They're actually showing us how much we need to detach and forgive and bring into our own lives as much peace as we possibly can to integrate.
Yeah.
So my theory and my belief 100% is that we are meant to integrate this third dimensional reality. We're meant to survive it, to integrate it, not to ignore it, but to integrate it through forgiveness, through healing of our own minds. And when we do that, we elevate the whole of humanity because we are all interconnected. And all we have control of really is us, is our own minds, our own thoughts. And that's why I do what I do, because I feel it's the best way for each and every one of us to learn about ourselves and to heal our own selves.
There is the idea too that we are separating from these people vibrationally.
Absolutely. Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
we probably won't come into contact with them all that much
Mm-hmm.
because of the universe is kind of doing that.
Yes.
And we're not going anywhere. We're still going to be on the same planet, but we won't. I liken it to like when you're in high school all those years ago. Where did those people go? We never ran in and we never saw any of them again.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's what's going to happen here.
Right.
Um, you're just not going to be able to get a hold of them because the universe is going to put obstacles in the way of that happening
Hmm.
because they are not ready to ascend.
Right.
And I heard something really interesting. There's these AI. There's an AI. There's several AI Elon Trumps. I mean Elon Musk's,
Mhm.
and there's a Trump AI. And so one of the Elon AIs has some really good information, and I follow that one.
Hmm.
The other one I don't follow because I don't resonate with anything he's saying. But the one, it's got the word minds in it, open minds or something like that. He said something very interesting about energy.
Hmm.
And he said, when you go out and somebody confronts you with negativity, ask yourself this question: is this worth my energy?
Absolutely.
And if it's not, then just leave it where it is. You don't
Exactly.
have to engage every negative statement that's made about you
That's
or
right.
any negative, somebody's being Karens, and all of
Yeah,
this. You don't have to engage them. You just have to look at it and look at the big picture
exactly.
and say, everything that's happening right now, everything that's happening with me and with you and with all of us, we're ascending, we're learning, we're finding out all kinds of fantastic things. Is this worth my energy?
Absolutely.
And the
If
answer is always going to be no.
no, it's not. No, you've hit the nail on the head. And so that's exactly what doing your own personal work, your spiritual work, and understanding there are some basic laws to this earth plane. One of them is what you give, you get, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What you give, you get. So if you plan on engaging with everyone who disagrees with you, you're just going to feed into the frequency of separation, the frequency of anger. And what is our purpose? Do we want to keep that duality going? Yes or no? And I believe the answer is no. We don't want to do that. We need to integrate that. And so,
Yeah.
absolutely, we have choices.
Right.
There's no obligation. There is absolutely no obligation. Believe it or not,
Mhm.
I learned that from my ex husband.
Well,
I learned that lesson from my ex husband because he taught me detachment.
yeah.
It's like a mom letting a toddler go through the tantrum and just looking. Are you
Yeah.
done yet? Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on.
And then
So,
the toddler learns that the tantrum's not going to get him anything.
nope,
That when they
it's not.
stop the tantrum,
Mhm.
that's when the affection comes. That's when the good things come.
Exactly. And
Uh,
you have to understand that there are energies that feed off of that. They
yeah,
want you to be in duality. They want you to be in fight or flight or freeze. They need that for their
yeah,
existence. And so that is one of the things that I say in my own head when I start to get angry or at somebody else. I'm like, do I want to feed the beast? No,
yeah,
I don't. So you don't get to be my food. I
yeah.
don't get to be your food. I'm
Right.
going to take control of my own energy. I'm going to be responsible for my own reaction. And I'm going to lift that up. I'm going to just learn from it and I'm going to move on.
Yeah, it's challenging.
Of course.
I think that's what we're learning is how to detach
Hmm.
right now and focus on actually ourselves.
Absolutely.
I know that sounds like you're being because you were fed that information all the time and you only think about yourself and you're
Hmm.
selfish, and it's
Hmm.
like they don't want us to focus on ourselves. They want to shame us out of focusing for our thinking for ourselves.
Absolutely.
And
Mhm.
I saw something, I watched the video actually. They have all these videos to Carl Jung, but it's not him.
Mm.
It's AI voices.
Mhm.
But I think it's from his talks and stuff um, that you should become obsessed with yourself, your appearance, which is contrary to what we learn. Well, we do learn to care about our appearance, but in a matrix kind of way.
Mhm.
You know, like you see these people getting plastic surgery and getting like big lips and, you know, the whole package where they don't even look like themselves anymore. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, and what he was talking about was taking care of yourself. Become
Absolutely.
obsessed with your looks. Show the world that you're happy and that you're comfortable with yourself. Because people who come out looking like a laundry basket, you can really look at them. They're begging to be trod upon, you know, because you can really look at a person and tell where they are in their life by the way they present themselves, especially down here in Florida.
Mhm.
There's a lot of elderly people that have just given up.
Mhm.
And you can tell who they are by looking at them. And so by putting yourself first, you're actually putting everybody else first at the same time because you're happier with yourself. You know, take some time, try on some clothes, see what you feel comfortable in, buy those things for yourself. So when you go out, you feel confident and you're not a target for these entities that are out there that want to attack you or
Mhm.
whatever. And I have taken that to heart because for a while there, I really did not care. I walked around in sweats all day long.
Mhm.
But what I found out is uh, if I get up, get dressed, care about what I'm wearing, I'm getting rid of all the clothes that, do you know that we wear 20% of our clothes
Yeah.
80% of the time?
Right.
So we always go for the same things. Why? Because we feel good in those things.
Mhm.
So the key is to getting rid of all the stuff you don't wear, putting
Mhm.
things you might wear away, and focusing on these things so that life just becomes easier. And you wake up and you put on your clothes and it's not a big ordeal. You feel better about yourself.
Mhm.
You've already figured this out. Wash your face, brush your teeth, fix your hair. You know, take a shower if you think you need to do that. Whatever you need to do to make yourself feel good about yourself
Mhm.
so that when you do walk out into the world, if people are assholes, for lack of a better term, it's easier to blow it off because if you don't look good and you're, you know, you slept in your clothes and all this stuff and you're out, it can really get to you.
Mhm.
Um, but you do put on this sort of, and also you walk with more pride and you have more self pride when you've put the effort in. And I've also heard live like your future self.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. We are, it's more about understanding that I've got this vessel and this vessel's got to carry me throughout my life. And so what ends up happening is we have been programmed to seek comfort, to seek validation from the external. So how many likes do we have? How many subs do we have? Like, validation from the five senses.
Yeah.
When I go for comfort, what do? We go to maybe ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so we indulge in our five senses reality. Not that there's anything wrong with having ice cream. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, what is the intention behind what you're doing?
Yeah.
Is the intention behind what you're doing to escape?
Yeah.
Is the intention behind what you're doing to seek pleasure from external things instead of taking pleasure from you, from internal, by putting yourself first. And we're always negotiating. We're always programmed to feel guilty. Oh no, you have to do that. You have to be doing X, Y, and Z, because if you're not, then you're this and that and the other. And it starts in school. No, you sit down and be quiet. You take lessons from authority. And so we are giving away our sovereign will to the authority. And most of us don't understand that our entire society has been set up to usurp our free will and to influence us to be the slob, to be the obese, to be the addict, to be the inauthentic self. And then what you're describing, I believe, is that you are becoming the authentic self of who you are. And if you do love, truly love and care about yourself, you're going to want to put better food within you. You're going to want to groom yourself. You're going to want to wear jewelry that brings satisfaction to you, that holds a meaning for you, not just something that somebody else told you you have to wear in order to be cool.
Right.
You actually start to wear clothes and carry yourself as someone who loves themselves, who knows themselves. And to be honest with you, what I am coming to see with my clients is that people who are lost in themselves, lost in their minds, don't even know what true self-satisfaction means. Like, they know what they don't like. I'm sorry, I'm getting the sun is coming across.
That's all right.
They know what they don't like, but they've never sat down and said, what really makes me truly happy? What really feeds my soul? Not just my body, not just the five senses, not just, what tastes good or getting a massage or something like that. There's nothing wrong with that. I get them myself. But what is actually going to make my soul content and sing and be full? And that, I believe, you had an experience that brought your soul up to that experience, to that real oneness. Okay. Can it be sustained for long periods of time? Probably not. But you can remember, oh, I now know what real peace feels like.
Yeah.
Right? You were taken to that place in this experience you had in this Starseed special. So now you've got the opportunity to know the contrast.
And I also, sorry, I just want to interject this. I also try to recreate that experience when I meditate.
Absolutely. And that's the whole point. Okay, that is the whole point. But you're doing it in a way that you're integrating your shadow. You're acknowledging your shadow. And that's what I believe is what we all need to do. It's not just about ignoring it all. It's about understanding its place in this world and how we ourselves do not need to engage in it. We choose our inner peace above the call for conflict, the call for drama, the call for duality.
Yeah. The call for drama is a real problem.
It is.
Because if you go onto YouTube, it's victim after victim after victim.
That's right.
Growing up with a narcissist. And so there you are on TV trying to top everybody else with this is my narcissist story.
Yeah.
Yours isn't, your mother wasn't as bad as my mother. Or, something like that. They're competing.
Absolutely.
Get the most pity. It's like such a inversion of what you should be doing,
Exactly.
And the other thing is the self-sacrificing that we have all, especially women, have been conditioned to feel like, well, she's just selfish. She only thinks about herself. Well, actually, that's not a bad thing, because you sacrifice and you sacrifice and you sacrifice. And what you do is you make yourself a
Hmm.
doormat, basically. And then you get pissed off when people just walk all over you. Well,
Yep,
you taught them how to do that.
that's
And
exactly it.
they taught us how to be that.
Right.
Because in the movies, they're always glorifying the self-sacrificing person that gives up everything
Mm-mm.
just to help their son or daughter or sister or mother or father. And then they get tossed to the curb,
Yep.
and they get all upset about it. It's because that's not natural, I don't think. We have to care. Our vessels are sacred,
Absolutely.
and
Hmm.
it's sacred. This is what we walk around in.
Hmm.
It's almost like having a house that's like perfect on the outside, but when you open up the door, it's a hoarder situation.
Right.
And those are all your shadows.
Hmm. Absolutely.
And you got to
Yeah.
get rid of them.
And so that's what you're saying is exactly the guilt program that has been given to us through education, through religion. No, you have to do that because you're their mother. Oh, you
Right,
have to do that because you're their daughter.
right.
Okay. We are free beings and we all have that divine connection. And that's that gut feeling. And so we're in the holiday season, okay? We're in a season where we are expected to do all sorts of things that if we really sit down and ask ourselves, do I really want to
Yeah,
go to Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving dinner at Uncle so and so's house or aunt or my mom's house or my mother-in-law? Do I really want to do that? If the answer is yes, perfect, go do it. If the answer is no, then you're negotiating with your true nature. And when you negotiate and you don't stand up for your true nature, you will build resentment and that will grow and grow and grow and fester until it will either explode or you will get some sort of illness or it will manifest into the physical because that's how these things work.
and don't you think there's a certain amount of expectation of appreciation that you're
Oh,
not
yeah.
likely to get?
Oh, no, of course.
You know,
That
you,
was
you expect that they're
no.
going to appreciate it, but then they don't. They
I'm telling you, this is like one of my biggest life lessons, which I am keeping learning. Even as we speak, I'm learning. It's not about what you do for other people. That means nothing.
right.
You can sacrifice yourself. You can go the mile. If that other person is not reciprocating the effort, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it immediately. Because there was a beautiful video that I listened to, and I can't remember who it was, but it talked about the personalities that just will not learn unless they crash and burn.
Yeah.
Okay. And how we, through our generous nature, through the love, or through our own egos, because we get an ego boost when we help people. Oh, let me help you, honey. Let me
Right.
do this for you. Isn't it better? Meanwhile, you usurping their free will and their ability to learn from their mistakes or from uh, doing things on their own. And then we, through our ego, feel better about it. And that's just a real bad, bad way
Well, because
of existing and doing. Mm-hmm.
what they learn is that you'll do it.
Apps, that's it. That's
That
the
they don't
lesson.
even
Yeah.
have to
That
try,
they don't
It's like,
even have to try. That's exactly what it is. And I'm telling you, that's one of the lessons that I am getting
well, you
smacked
know what
upside the head with.
I
Mhm.
call that learning how to say no.
Oh, there you go. Uh-huh. Learning how to
There's
say
nothing
no.
wrong with saying and not explaining.
Yes,
That's
no,
another thing. Don't
no,
explain it.
no is a complete sentence.
Yes, you don't have to go,
Shh,
no, because I have to do this and I have to do that. And
nope,
then they'll try to find a way for you to actually do it.
don't
Well, what if you do
engage. No
this?
excuses. Mm-hmm.
Just say no.
Yeah.
And but people can't do that. It is so
Mm-hmm.
ingrained in us that we have to explain why that it's
Nope.
all in the movies and everything. You
Right.
when they make these movies, they're not just making they're not entertaining us, okay? Get that idea
Right.
out of your head. They
Hmm.
do not want to entertain us. They only want to entertain us to keep us engaged in what they're trying to get us to do, which is they're modeling us in
Exactly.
these characters that they are coming up with. And if you notice, a lot of these people who do violent things and stuff, they get the ideas from watching films.
Yes, they're training us. So listen, okay, so this is where the mind, hypnosis, and programming all come in together. Because when we are in a dark room focused on a screen, think about how we live right now. We're this. We focus everything out and we're focusing on a screen. That is placing us into a hypnotic state. And then through our eyes, directly to our brains, we are programmed. We are told what is right, and our emotions are being manipulated because through our emotions, that's how things get embedded into our subconscious mind. And so the hero has to almost die, and we get emotionally involved in the plot, and then miraculously they win, and then we get elated. So first we're traumatized, and then we're exalted. That is classic mind programming, MK Ultra programming. So
Yeah.
this is the mind, and it is so very important. And this is why I do what I do. We must take control of our minds back. And this is why I have dedicated my life to the mind and hypnosis and hypnotherapy, and assisting each person, no matter where they are, if they're an awakened star-seeded or if they're just a normal person who is dealing with everyday trauma, who's dealing with death, who's dealing with depression. Okay, we must reclaim our minds because the controllers know how our minds work. We're the ones who don't know how our minds work. And that's why I love what I do. That's why I do what I do and the means that I do it. And I reach out to everyone. I'm fully aware of this.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think my profession of hypnotherapy is so very, very, very important. And then I get to work with amazing people who are the star seeds, and I get to connect them.
Yeah.
I had a beautiful client who had a starseed special, who connected with her blue avian family.
Oh,
And when she was connecting with her blue avian family, I was feeling rejoiced because they're my family as well.
yeah.
Right? Ra is a blue avian. The Ra Collective brought forth the law of one. And then she went and connected with her Arcturian family.
Uh,
And now she, like you, is getting downloads and connected to her Arcturian family and is getting more knowledge and healing modalities that she's applying in her own life's mission. So that's why I love doing what I'm doing, because it's just powerful for everyone. It elevates the entire collective consciousness.
and we are really, well, I don't consider that myself now because I've pretty much given up every idea about every single thing about my
That's right.
former life.
Mm-hmm.
If this house, I love this house, don't get me wrong. I love my house. I love all the things I've collected over the years. But if it all went away, uh,
Right,
it doesn't define me.
right,
You know, I'd make some more stuff.
right.
You know, I'd make my own furniture out of rocks or
Well, I
something
mean,
like that.
that is something, again, a program, and we are taught that our possessions are our identity. There's nothing wrong with having possessions. There's nothing wrong with making money. There's nothing wrong with it. But when you begin to identify yourself as them,
Yeah.
you have lost perspective. And in my own personal life, when I sold my house in New York, which I adored and loved, I went through another ego death because
Yeah.
I didn't know who I was. I got physically very sick
Oh,
from the process. I was ill for over about 2 years, really significantly ill. And I learned about myself. I learned about myself. And one of the biggest gifts from that experience was my guides reminding me, wait a minute, the house didn't make you, you made the house.
Right.
When my ex left that house, it was 100-year-old home, beautiful, gorgeous,
Sounds so
chestnut,
nice.
one of those northern homes,
Yeah.
arts and crafts, gorgeous. I mean, one of a kind, a really beautiful home. It was plaster cracking. The windows let air through. It would creak. It would like a ship. It would creak. It was so in disrepair because it reflected the state of my life. My life was in disrepair. As my life grew and I went through my spiritual awakening, and I, from the inside, transformed and my exterior transformed, I redid the house. I invested in the home. I got new windows. I did the bathroom and the kitchen, and I did this and I did that. Did it. But my perception was that I had value because of my house. And when that house went away, I didn't realize the truth.
Yeah.
My mind was distorted. And so
It was it
manifested.
like a piece of you had been taken, a chunk of you out away?
Oh, I had no idea who I was anymore
Yeah.
because I knew who I was in that house. Then I came and I'm living in my childhood home or my young adult home. And just I shifted completely.
Yeah.
But it was one of the biggest lessons I ever learned. So there's a reason for everything. And so if we can pull back from that judgment and just take that on, now I realize that it's coming from me. I take responsibility for my reality. I make my life. And if I can't change it at this moment, then I'm going to do the best with what I have and be grateful.
And wherever you land, you're going to do the same thing that you did to that house.
Absolutely.
But it does sound beautiful.
Oh my God. I tell the owner, I was like, if I could buy it back from you tomorrow, I'd buy it back from you tomorrow. Don't get me wrong. I still miss that home, but it gives me something to look forward to recreate for myself and re-manifest for myself.
Do you ever watch Kevin Lee Jacobs on YouTube?
I doesn't
This
ring a bell.
guy, he doesn't know it,
Mm-hmm.
but he is so based. He has a 200-year-old house in New York, in
Uh-huh.
upstate New
Uh-huh.
York. His whole channel is about cooking scones and having tea and all this stuff. He even videos himself. You were talking about the work.
Mm-hmm.
And he was doing his Christmas decorations, which he did garlands for his 200-year-old fireplace, which is
Mm-hmm.
spectacular. And
Mm-hmm.
he picked the gardens in the back and did them up. It really is who he is. But then I started thinking when you were talking about, just the whole pomp and circumstance. Of course, he makes videos and
Mm-hmm.
shows people how to uh, be steady and
Mm-hmm.
be involved in the smallest of
Mm-hmm.
tasks, which is
Mm-hmm.
where happiness comes from, I
Right.
think.
Right.
Out of the drudgery of life comes the joy of life.
Absolutely.
You know who
And
said
he's
that?
living who?
The
Mm-hmm.
fake Paul McCartney.
Oh,
The live one, not the dead one.
right, right,
Yeah.
right.
He said that out of the
Mm-hmm.
tedium of life comes the joy of life.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that is so true. The
Yeah,
littlest task can become sacred.
absolutely. And we have all again been indoctrinated into just achieving the end result. But the
Right,
true growth is in the process.
right.
And
And
that's where the
also,
peace is.
we're
Mm-hmm.
not all meant to stay in the same place,
No, no.
And don't forget about the great Chris Christopherson. I don't know if he's got TDS or what nowadays. I never know when I say these names.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you never really know who wrote the song
Right.
because we're so living in a deception. But the words to the song go like this: Freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose
Mm-hmm.
because we become slaves to these things
Right.
and
Exactly.
they own us
Mm-hmm.
after a certain part. If you like, you know, uh, cars and gadgets like that, well, you're going to
Right.
have to pay insurance, you're going to have to maintain them, and we do become slaves to
Mm-hmm.
these things. And when you have nothing left to lose, that's when you're totally free from all of it.
That's it.
And I
Mm-hmm.
think the
The
universe
detachment.
takes us here. Like this house, I realize it's not permanently I'm going to probably end up somewhere else, maybe not. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
trying to force any outcome. But when the time comes, if I have to leave this house, I will do so joyously because,
Right.
um, I've made it better and
Mm-hmm.
passing it on. And we do have a tendency to do that here. But
Mm-hmm.
well, so have you got any final words you want to say? Because I know you're a busy lady and I don't want to monopolize your time.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. Well, I just want to thank you for the opportunity. Let me ask you a question. Okay. So was that worth it to you?
Yes, it was. Absolutely.
Right.
Because I have a very much of an idea. Like it got me to study the hand thing
Mm-hmm.
because then I wanted to know what else have I got, that's going to tell me something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All those videos came my way because I
Mm-hmm.
posed the question in
That's
a
right.
um it's not like me sitting here asking, okay, I want to know who I am. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's not
Mm-hmm.
what happened. We went on a journey and we went deep
Right.
inside
Mm-hmm.
psychologically.
Yeah.
And I did get the answers that I want.
Right. And
But
I do want to say that everybody has their own unique experience because my also true belief is that we are our own universes, our YO universe. We
yeah,
generate our own experience. So, what's truth for me is not going to be truth for you. What is experience for me is not going to be experience for you. So, we each have an individual expression of our truth. And so I want to say, because somebody will say, well, Linda had this experience and I want that experience. Well, there's no guarantee of anything. All bets are off in this realm.
yeah.
And my job when I'm in that realm, like I can guide you to the pyramid, but your impression, your experience of the pyramid is yours uniquely and alone. So somebody will who's had another starseed special will say, "Well, my period didn't look like Linda's pyramid. Didn't look like Linda's pyramid. No, it's your pyramid. It's what you generate in your own superconscious reality." And so that's really just important for me to get across. And
Well, I'd like to also mention the tape,
yeah, mm-hmm,
the video that you sent,
mm-hmm,
because you get a video of the session,
mm-hmm,
the entire 3 hour session.
right,
So you can redo it again or get more out of it on your own
sure,
time. Also, my problem isn't going to be everybody's problem,
right, mm-hmm,
and the answers came to me in forms. In other words, the answers were sent to me in forms that I would see and understand, like my dreams,
right.
because I'm writing down my dreams. I wrote down my dream last night, and all this stuff happened. I don't think I brought it in here, but I only remember the end, and the end was there was somebody was coming towards me, and in the dream I was going, "Don't touch me, don't touch me." I was saying that in the dream, and I pulled something out of like a belt or something that was on my thing, and it was like a remote control, and there was a white button about the size of a penny on the remote control. And I said, "Don't touch me." And then I hit the white button, and they what's the word I want? Disappeared. Well, they didn't disappear. They glitched. They glitched
Uh-huh.
away. They
Right.
glitched away. I made them glitch away with the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, nobody's going to be having that dream,
No.
but because I pay so much attention to my dreams, the information came to me through my dreams.
Hmm.
Because I pay so much attention to these videos on the internet, the answer came through
Right.
things I'm familiar with pay. Do you
Exactly.
see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That
No,
the
that's
universe
exactly right.
knew I would get it.
Right.
Yeah,
Your universe knew that you were
right,
going to get it that way. And
right.
so what ends up happening, and this is the beauty of hypnosis, and I wouldn't say this if I wasn't a product of it. Okay.
Yeah.
When you are healing, whether you have a past life regression, whether you have a star seed, or whether you have just a regular clinical or you know, childhood regression or a parts therapy session. What ends up happening is that you elevate your frequency, you heal deep, deep wounds, and then you up level yourself. You up level yourself, and the entire reality you create shifts along with you, which is what happened to you, which is what happened to me. Things, miracles happen. And so I'm just excited to provide this
Let me
and
ask
to
you
be in
something.
service. Mhm.
Do you help people who have bad habits and they want to, other
Of
people,
course.
do you expand you're not just dealing with star seeds, you're
Oh
dealing with people,
no,
yeah.
I'm dealing with anybody who I really believe that the universe is providing me exactly who I need to see. I'm not hiding the fact that I am an energy healer, and I do this, channeling. I don't hide that because my business is a hypnotherapy and intuitive arts. So people who come to me know what I am. But that doesn't mean that I don't have people who come to me who, let's say, are in religion and or who don't have these things. I honor everybody where they are, because I believe if you're in my field, you're here for a reason,
Yeah.
and we're
Well,
meant to be together. We're meant to be there.
I think
Mhm.
that's true with everybody right now.
Absolutely.
We are
Mhm.
being put in contact with the people that we need to meet.
That's right. Mhm.
Um, oh, the other thing I wanted to ask you was, um, oh shoot, I forgot. Doesn't take
Right.
much to make me forget these days.
That's quite all right.
Oh, a
So
slight pause. I
it's
might
fine.
forget.
I have an office in Tarpon Springs, Florida, and I also work through Zoom, and it is equally as valid an experience, because there's the impression, oh, you can only do it in person. No, that's not true.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I
the
did mine through Zoom.
You did yours through Zoom, yeah.
Yeah. I know what I wanted to ask. Don't you think that in a lot of ways you're reprogramming people?
I mean, yeah, I mean, what the
I mean,
this
I guess what I really mean is getting rid of the programming that exists.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I am here to, there are specific methods that we reprogram, and that's through a customized hypnotic programming recording. That's what it's called. But I'm working with my client. It's not
Yeah.
my thoughts, it's my client's wishes, desires, and there's a whole process that we go through. So I'm not manipulating anybody.
Right.
I am there to encourage, and I'm using your own words, because while you're going through your process, I'm writing everything down. I mean, I have notes upon notes and notes upon notes. I'm an old schooler. I write, write,
Yeah.
write, write, write,
Me
write.
too.
And then at the end, what I'm doing is reinforcing what you came up with on your own, to reinforce your new reality after the end of the session.
I was thinking more of like somebody who maybe drank or too much or smoked cigarettes
Yes,
or something like that,
yes,
that
yes.
you would be getting rid of whatever it is that makes them compulsively want to do it, when they
Well,
don't want to,
yeah.
because a lot of people, it's the shadow work, that's
Mhm.
talking or
Well,
pushing.
if you want to talk about attached energies, they
Oh,
absolutely
yeah.
exist, especially when you're dealing with addictions, when you're dealing with low frequency, low vibrational behavior,
Yeah.
whether it be through sex or alcohol or drugs or food. That is all addictive behavior. And quite honestly, uh, there are entities that attach to us. They may be in our physical bodies. They can attach to our livers. They can attach to parts of our bodies.
I
They can
believe
be disincarnate humans. So they can be disincarnate souls that are living through you vicariously or attached to you, that desire that behavior. And that's why people go and they get sober and then bam, they crash back down, because there is something, a part of them that wants them to fail
Yeah,
and
they,
wants them to go back there. And actually, in my practice, I was fully trained, and I've been doing this for years anyway, on how to release and remove these entity attachments, whether they be disincarnate humans or whether they be low vibrational, fourth dimensional, gnarly energies,
well, yeah, because
So,
you'll never
yeah,
be free of it until you get rid of
no,
that.
no.
Because
And
they'll always bring you back to it, no matter how
exactly,
far away you think you've gotten from it.
exactly.
That thing is still there,
Yep. And
hiding.
even absolutely. And we even generate our own thought forms. That's how powerful creator beings we are. We can generate activity. We can generate these with our intense emotions, create energies that want that intense emotion. That's why I believe healing the subconscious realm is really where true healing takes place, along with
Yeah.
a spiritual practice. We have to understand that this is a spiritual war. We are definitely in that. And we need to remember, okay, which means come back together with our true nature, which is love.
Yeah.
Because in our true form, like when we come in as children, we see everyone through love. We just want to be joyful. We just want to be happy. And so we are remembering who we truly are in this ascension process.
Well, how can people get a hold of you, Anne Marie?
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Yes, you can find me at my website, AMM for Anne Marie Morales, hypnotherapy.com.
I'll put the link
And
in the description.
absolutely. And you'll find all of my other links there, and along with my bio and all the services that I offer.
And Anne Marie is snarky, approved. And also,
Yeah,
she's an America first person.
absolutely.
Product here in
Hmm.
America for made in the USA. Anne Marie, it's always great to talk to you and to see
Thank you,
you.
hon.
You're such a beautiful person. And I would like to tell everybody that when Anne Marie first came to my house, she hugged my tree.
Yeah.
And that I knew there was a connection there immediately. Anyway, Anne Marie, have a
Excellent.
wonderful day. Have a wonderful holiday if I don't
Thank
see
you.
you.
Thank
And thanks for being here. Anne Marie, thank you very much.
you. You're very welcome. I love you, darling. Mwah.
Right back at you.